Vaccines save lives. Today I will tell you why every kid should be vaccinated. Learning about this controversial health topic in my public health class really helped open my eyes to the misleading opinions associated with vaccines and the dangers that unvaccinated kids could bring to others. First, I'll tell you about the controversial issues between vaccines and various disorders. Then I'll tell you why unvaccinated kids are a threat to public health. I'll conclude with what one may do to improve the health of themselves, their child, and the community through vaccines. So first, let me tell you about the controversial issues between vaccines and certain disorders. There is no direct link between autism and vaccines, more specifically the measles, mumps, rubella, more commonly known as the MMR vaccine. Nearly 2 decades ago, in 1998, a famous doctor by the name of Andrew Wakefield published a research article saying that there was a link between autism and vaccines. Panic arose among the community about the possible link, and many people believed the article because the famous surgeon and researcher published it. According to many sources, though, including Paul Offit, the author of the Anti-Vaccine Epidemic, published in the Wall Street Journal on September 25, 2015, the research that Andrew Wakefield published turned out to be fraudulent and disproved by many studies after. After the incident, he was revoked of his medical license. Other countries have found no connection between the two either. Countries such as Sweden and Finland have found no causal relationship between vaccines and autism. A study of over 30,000 kids was conducted in Japan in 2005, and while the incidence of children diagnosed with autism increased, it was concluded that the vaccine could not have caused the disorder on a broad scale. Although many still believe that there is a connection, there is not enough scientific research to support that theory. Now, let me explain how unvaccinated kids are a threat to public health. If a child is not vaccinated, he or she may end up causing health hazards to not only themselves, but to the people who surround them. If a vaccine is delayed or rejected, kids will not be fully protected against preventable diseases. The Dallas Morning News study written on October 13, 2011, states that some vaccine-preventable diseases can be deadly or disabling. Some common vaccine-preventable diseases include chickenpox, influenza, pertussis, and tuberculosis. Just to put into perspective, children who are not vaccinated against pertussis, which is more commonly known as the whooping cough, are 24 times more likely to contract the disease, which can be deadly. I would hope that a parent would not put their child through pain or harm if it can be easily prevented. Some people are unable to be vaccinated and rely heavily on herd immunity to keep them safe. The idea of herd immunity is that people who are unable to be vaccinated will still have a level of protection against vaccine-preventable diseases. The people who are unable to be vaccinated include pregnant mothers, infants who are too young to be vaccinated, or people who are undergoing chemotherapy for cancer. Dr. Seaman Yasmin, a former CDC disease detective, a current professor at UT Dallas, and a writer for the Dallas Morning News, published an article on August 27, 2014 that stated, "We often think that vaccinating our kids is a personal decision, but it's a choice that affects everybody around us." I'll conclude with what one may do to ensure the health of themselves, their loved ones, and the community around them. Taking proactive steps is the best way to provide a child with a healthy lifestyle and to reduce the risk of vaccine-preventable diseases. The first step is the most important step. Get your child vaccinated. Getting vaccinated is not mandatory, but it will decrease the risk of obtaining certain diseases. Some states will disallow children from attending daycare or school if they are not vaccinated. There have been incidences where pediatric doctors will not treat children who are unvaccinated due to the harmful hazards they may cause to their patients. Once vaccinated, the next step is to keep up with these vaccinations. Vaccination strains are subject to change depending on variations of that disease. For example, the influenza vaccine is updated yearly depending on which strands are circulating that season. Lastly, it is important to educate those around you. Educating people on herd immunity can help keep your child safe. Parents should know that this is the safest if their kid is vaccinated. It reduces the risk of their child getting sick, and it reduces the epidemic outbreaks caused by people who are unvaccinated. Now that I have told you why it's important to vaccinate your kid, let me conclude. First, I told you about the controversial issues between various disorders such as autism. Then I told you how unimmunized children are a threat to public health. Lastly, I told you what one may do to improve the health of themselves, their loved ones, and their community through vaccines. So if you have kids or are planning to have kids, it is imperative to get them vaccinated because it will not only save their lives, but it will save the lives of others around them. Thank you.